Just making sure we're good. Just make sure we're good to go. The camera's not bad looking. A little saturated. Or sharp, I mean. Okay, there we go. Noise. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy. We're back out, or we're heading back out anyway. It's morning time, and we'll stay up for a couple hours this morning. Then I'm gonna come back for lunch, and then we'll head out for lunch, and then we'll take it from there. And I'll catch up with the comments in a second. Okay. Okay, so what we got? Looks like Chip's in the house. How you doing, Chip? Good to see ya. Thank you for the corn cob. Always been one of my faves. Nice. I like to grill it in wrap and foil with butter, salt, pepper. No foil bad. Reuse as much as possible. Oh yeah, grilled corn cob is really good. There's no grill emoji. Really? Huh. Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I don't know if I've seen one before. Well, I found one that might somewhat resemble it. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. That's the closest one I could find. I think it's supposed to resemble grilling. All right, let's put DoorDash on. Okay. And then Grubhub pay report. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Let's see. How do you find it? I just typed grill on the phone. You know, under the emojis tab. Just typed in grill. And I gotta wait for the bus. So gotta wait for them to pass. Let's see, how am I doing today? I'm doing okay. My landlord's gonna pick up some friends of hers. They're gonna stay till Saturday morning. Then Saturday night I take them to Port Canaveral. I get paid to do it too, so that's great. But then my landlord gets back Sunday. So, gonna be spending some time with Just Lucy. Okay, we're good. Oh, not quite. Okay, now we're good. Did I sleep well? I slept okay. I woke up around 3:30-ish again, and then I fell back to sleep till about 6:30. I've had that happen on and off. So it's okay. Lucy time is always great. Oh yeah. Most definitely. So we're just going to do our usual heading back to our zone, seeing what happens. So based on the 100 orders that I would theoretically need to remove that contract violation, I've got 92 out of 100. Because one of the deliveries I was trying to do yesterday didn't count. Because I had to refund it. Because there was only one item, and I asked the customer if they wanted different eyelashes, because that's what it was. It was out of stock. But whenever you do an order and everything's out of stock, you just cancel the order and then you get half pay. It's like Uber Eats doesn't even do that. Sounds windy? Oh yeah, it's always windy here. Never like crazy windy, but the thing to remember too is I don't have a windshield, you know? If I had a windshield, it would be a lot quieter. I mean, I technically do have one. You guys haven't seen it yet though. And I would have to pick a good opportunity to use it. Like maybe on a rainy day. That's only fair, you know. It's only fair that if I travel to the merchant and I'm trying to do an order and I use my customer service skills to make sure that the customer's okay with certain decisions, then yeah, I think it's only fair that I get half pay for it. The Shipt, they do the same thing as well, although you have to contact the live agent directly to get that one. So essentially with Shipt, if you have to cancel the order for any reason, yeah, that one. If you have to cancel the order for any reason, then they'll give you a $5 compensation fee. But you have to contact the live agent to do it. If you try to do it in the app, it's not going to work. Yeah, we're getting a lot of southeast wind. That's where it's been coming from for a little while. Let's see, it is fair, time is money. Oh yeah, sir. Time is money. That is definitely true. Yeah, I think they got more construction going on up ahead. Might be hard to see, but they got a police car over there too. So, yeah, it takes them forever to get these roads done, man. Because, you know, they did all that work on Columbia Boulevard up ahead, and they still haven't come up here. So, I don't know. It's all good. But yeah, we're going to do our usual cross of the street. We'll hang out in the Target parking lot and see what we can get. Do you have a lot of road construction in your area? Yeah. It happens quite a lot. It's not always major, but whenever it is major, they just do a bunch of areas at the same time. So it can be a pain in the ass because they block off the shoulder or the bike lane, depending on which it is. So it makes it difficult for people like me to get around safely. Not like Titusville gives a shit about people like me anyway. But what else is new? Well, at least they can work on it year-round here. We have limited time for road work due to winter, so it's all at once. So Michigan has 2 seasons, winter and construction season. Yeah, I can see that. All right, now we can cross over. Hey, what's going on, Red? How you doing, buddy? How you feeling? We're just doing the usual. Heading over to the zone, seeing what orders we can get. Tons of road work here when the weather's good, makes it difficult to get around. Yeah, I can imagine, on top of the fact that I would imagine, I know the winter makes it hard to get around too. So it sounds like it's just hard to get around in general, man. If I had to guess. Yeah, you better hold up, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna park it for a few minutes, and then we'll move around again. What's going on, Sandra? How you doing today? We're just out here doing the usual, waiting to see which of these apps decides to send me an order. I've been checking up on Roadie, nothing doing. The nearest hotspot is it's at the McDonald's. It's like 3.5 miles from here. I don't want to go there. And if you pay me enough for it, sure, why not? You know, but it's all good. I guess I'll put on Grubhub and Uber Eats too. I usually keep them off during the week, but you know, Thursday I give it a shot. Okay, we got a block. It's 7 to 8:30 Eastern, but it's already 8:17 Eastern. But that'll still give us a few minutes to potentially get some offers from Grubhub. And then let's see about Uber Eats. Choose preferred vehicle. It's the only one on the account, but okay. There we go. Okay, we got all the apps on officially, so let's see what happens, right? Hey, what's going on, Half Empty? How you doing? We're just out here doing our usual thing. Thursdays are generally a better day for me during the week, so even if we don't totally knock it out of the park, we should still be able to crack our $60 goal pretty easily. And depending on how quickly I make that goal today, then I'll just keep going, you know? Let's see, Red asks, how are you? I'm okay, Red. I'm okay. Sleep got a little broken up. It's been like that for a little while, but it's okay. $60 goal is good. Yeah. I mean, you figure even if it's not a very impressive amount of money, I'm also not spending a ton doing this kind of work. You figure I'm saving a lot of money the way that I do it. Now, saving money doesn't inherently make you more money, but hey, it's a good business practice to keep expenses down if you can. I mean, the most expensive thing on this bike is the battery, which cost $800, and that is admittedly pretty steep, but the battery lasts several years, so it's not like I wouldn't be prepared for it, for one. A motor, the motor for this bike in particular costs $290, so that would be the second most expensive thing. The third most expensive thing would probably be the fork. One of these runs a little under $200. And most other parts are really cheap. I guess you could argue the frame, but honestly, like, if you don't get in an accident, the frame's going to last forever. Definitely keep the expenses down. The e-bike would be good. Heck yeah, man. Plus, having a mountain bike as a backup and having another e-bike as a backup, that certainly helps. Because then it means you can just pick the one for the occasion, which means that you're wearing down one of them even less. Because you figure instead of just putting 100 miles on one, I could put like 50 miles on one, 25 on the other two. You know, that's one way to look at it. My hubby's mountain bike frame is 25 years old. Yeah. Then those mountain bikes from yesteryears, those are really good mountain bikes. You know, as long as you keep them tuned up, replacement parts when necessary, you can take that thing to your grave. You can literally just take it to your grave. They just they don't really make mountain bikes like that anymore. That's why a lot of people they go on the the secondhand market for mountain bikes. I mean, I did get the one that I got because it looks cool. Kind of like a pair of shoes. If you alternate between them, they last you much longer. Yeah, certainly. That is one way to look at it. Plus, if you take care of your shoes, you can keep them going even further. Let's see. I'm going to check shipped, just to be on the safe side. I know I updated my schedule. Yeah, I'm on schedule. Nothing doing. That's okay. I'll move around in a little bit, get things going, For everyone just coming in, don't forget to hit that lick button. Let's see if we get it up to 10 before my first offer. That'd be heckin' dope. Let's see. Chip says, everyone, if you haven't, please subscribe to Melissa, Gig Life and More. Link pinned at the top. She has great content, including gig work, crafts, recipes. Recipes, baby, please. But yeah, pin comment. You want to tap on that? Check out Melissa's channel. Want to try to get her up to 1,000 by her birthday. It's less than 2.5 weeks from now. Let's see. Half Empty says, hope you get to your goal for the day, had a good time, and get more than you expect. Yeah, you too, man. You too, buddy. And everyone else that's out there doing gig work. Hope you guys can pull it off as well. As far as order total, I would really like to try to get a minimum 8 or 9 by today. Because I've got 92 out of the 100 orders to hypothetically remove the contract violation. Because when I got the contract violation, it was on the 17th, right? So I figure if that gets removed, then I should be able to start doing earn by time again. If that does happen, that would be just in time for the weekend. Mike, you good, brother. Thanks. 1,000 would be amazing. Man. I haven't, I've been able to do 1,000 in a week before, but I only pulled it off once, and that was back in late 2022 when I used to drive a Ford Focus. And that was entirely with Shipped. So no other apps. That was entirely with Shipped. But I was taking pretty much every order at that time with Shipped. I couldn't do that same thing anymore. Rhode Island Roger. Hey, how's it going? Hope it gets reversed. Have an issue with a short trying to get fixed. Yeah, the timing for the contract for the whole getting locked out of earn by time was weird because they waited 2 weeks later to lock me out. But I know the number one suspect was the contract violation, and during that time, I was struggling to get orders delivered on time as well. Not to the whole 10 plus minutes late, which is called extremely late to them, but I was still struggling to get a lot of orders delivered on time. So I figure since I've gotten every order since then, except for maybe a couple delivered on time, and getting the 8 more orders to remove the violation, then hypothetically, that should mean I get earned by time back sooner than later. And you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys all know why I want earned by time back. Just making more money for the orders I would already take. and I don't have to resort to these unreliable shopping orders. It's like if I'm gonna do a shopping order, I generally prefer shipped. And it's not like you even get a ton from them either, you know. Just a lot of these shopping orders on DoorDash, they pay too little, you know. Yeah, nothing with Rhodey. Okay. You know, my buddy, he sent me some stuff on Messenger. Probably some of his workout stuff. What do we got here? I'm gonna check it out real quick. I haven't tried that variation before, comma, but you can also do it sitting on the floor directly with your legs straight out, period. He was showing me a variation of an exercise called Good Mornings. You place the weight on your back and you hip hinge. Because I've seen people sit on a bench, or they stand up and do them, or if they sit on the floor directly and do them. All right. Yeah, he's you've done them seated before? Oh, you've done Good Mornings. Cool. Right on. Yeah, I think they're great. And pound for pound, I think they're probably the best hamstring exercise for stimulating the long head. Because you don't need to use as much weight as like Romanian deadlifts. You can use like half as much and get an arguably better stimulus of the hamstrings. Okay, his reps are looking pretty good. Yeah, I think he's got these dumbbell pressings in the bag, so that's good. I look over the footage that he sends me, the exercises he does in the gym, mainly the ones that are either his primaries and secondaries for his program, or any one particular exercise he's trying to improve on. Like he would send me footage of his chest flies with the cables to see which is best for him, you know. 6 to 10. All right, so he was going 6 reps. Yeah, he says he only had 1 rep in reserve with his sets, but honestly, I think he had more. I think he had at least 2 reps in reserve, maybe even 3. I think he underestimates himself sometimes, you know. Yeah, I'd say he probably could have gotten 8, 9 reps. I do have him scale back his reps in reserve on purpose. What is reps in reserve? That's just essentially how many more reps you leave in the tank. So let's say that you do a set of 8 with an exercise, but after you do the set of 8, you think to yourself, all right, well, it went really good because I was paying attention to the rep speed. I was paying attention to how it felt, how much was I exerting myself, and whether or not I could hypothetically do more reps. So that's essentially what reps in reserve is. Think about, like, you drive a car and you can drive an X amount of miles with a full tank, but you leave a little bit left after you're done. So let's say that you want to drive 100 miles and you leave 20 miles in the tank. So you hypothetically could have gone that whole 100 miles, but you left a little bit in reserve. Because, I mean, you got to get home somehow, right? Yeah. The main reason why I like the whole reps in reserve, which is RAR for short, is that you're able to get more consistent volume across the board without physically taxing yourself like crazy. Now, that's generally more advisable for heavier compound exercises, right? It's generally foolish to take exercises like that to failure. Plus, you significantly increase your injury risk. by doing that anyway. Now, if you want to take like bicep curls to failure every now and again, that's fine. You want to drop set to failure every now and again with exercises like that, that's fine. But deadlifts to failure, barbell squats to failure, I mean, you're just asking to get hurt. But that's just me. You learned a lot of good movements. Yeah, that's great. You went to a gym called Orange Theory Fitness. I don't know if you've heard them before. Hey, what's going on, Ellie? How you doing? How you doing, Tate? And Roger says, have a wonderful morning. See you again, Mike. All right, take care, Roger. Roger that. Looks good, period. Nothing to nitpick. Oh, Jesus. This voice to text, it doesn't come out right. I think it's my accent. Okay. There we go. His footage looks good. Because what I have him do with the dumbbell bench press that he does flat and he does incline. Incline to help build his upper chest. He's really trying to build that upper chest. I have him bring the dumbbell to where his knuckles are almost parallel to they're almost parallel to the top of his chest. So it look like that, right? And then when I have him press up, I have him bring his hands together as much as possible. So it would look like essentially touching the dumbbells together. The reason is that he's going to get that shoulder adduction, which means he's going to get more of that inner chest contraction. So that just helps create more uniform thickness from side to side on the chest. When you're able to adduct mean bring closer together, right? So when he's able to bring the dumbbells closer together, he's bringing his shoulders and pecs closer together. So you're going to get more of that inner contraction of the chest. That's one thing I really like about the dumbbell bench is that you're sort of getting the best of both worlds when it comes to being able to place the pec tendon and the shoulder tendon under a heavy load, but getting that full mechanical tension of the shoulder flexion, shoulder adduction. Because those are the two main functions of the chest, is to adduct and to flex the shoulder. That's because the pec tendon crosses with the shoulder tendon. And you get that maximal effect when you're able to bring the shoulders closer together. I mean, you still get a lot of bang for your buck by just directly pressing up and down under heavy loads because, well, you're getting that overload and you're getting that mechanical tension still. But, you know, compared to a barbell, you're going to get even more of that biomechanics because you're able to bring your shoulders and pecs together. Unlike with a barbell, because with a barbell, your hands are in a fixed position the whole time. That doesn't make it inherently worse, by the way. It just makes it different. Because, you know, barbell bench press is great too. And in some cases would arguably be better. Like for reference, it's easier to set up a barbell, and it's because you figure with a dumbbell, you kind of have to hike the weights back in order to get in that bottom position. That can be pretty awkward for some people. And plus, you're also stronger when the body's working in unison rather than working independently. So you can lift more weight with barbell as well. But, you know, dumbbells, you can get more uniform volume for both sides to an extent. And plus, you're able to work both sides independently. And in some cases, it's probably a little safer to fail, or to bail, should I say, to bail the weight with dumbbells. But then again, if you're not pushing your training to failure, that shouldn't be a problem anyway. But I digress. All right, I'm going to go over to McDonald's. Let's see what we can get. Well, not me order from McDonald's, but you know what I mean. Orders. Okay. Alrighty, here we are. I'm right outside of McDonald's, situated myself closer to this part of the hot spot, so let's see what happens. And let's see, Chip says I prefer dumbbells. Yeah, it's understandable. You can definitely get a lot of bang for your buck with dumbbells. What's going on, Share Bear 1 and 2? How you doing today? Let's see. Kayla asks, would you do gig work without an e-bike, just a regular bike? Yeah, I would. Would I do it full-time? No. I wouldn't do it full-time. If I didn't have e-bikes, I would just get a W-2 job, and then off times I would use the regular bike. But the e-bikes, they make it a lot easier. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot easier, but it makes it more viable for me to not have to rely on a W-2. Because I'm able to get around more quickly and do more, just plain simple. Okay. Yeah, I gotta say, it's pretty slow for a Thursday. Yeah, nothing in roadie. And DoorDash, nothing doing, so I don't know. It's all good. I'm sure one of these apps, they'll send me something. I mean, we did move around a little bit. Looks like we're up to 10 licks before the first order, so thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. Maybe because of the tariffs, people trying to save money. I definitely think that has something to do with it. But I don't know. People are still going to always want to have their stuff delivered to them. So I don't think that's quite a major factor as it might be made out to be. That can definitely cut into people wanting to tip more for sure. But then again, when I start doing earn by time again, that pretty much cancels that out. That's why I like earn by time. But the other thing to consider too, Caleb, is that these dispatch companies, they saturate their markets. They oversaturate their markets, of course. They're trying to get orders delivered as quickly and cheaply as possible. How do you do that? Oh, simple. Just have more people available to deliver. And you figure they don't have the overhead costs of employees because we're not employees, right? They don't need to pay for any of that stuff for us. So they're going to save money by just having more people that want to do DoorDash, even if there's technically not enough orders to go around for every dasher. It's actually a pretty brilliant business model. It's ethically questionable, but it's a pretty brilliant business model nonetheless. You figure 30 orders are available, 50 drivers are on the road. You're going to get orders, hypothetically, delivered more quickly that way. Now the cops are out already. Jeez. High-speed chase, I guess. Would you want DoorDash to be a W-2 job, 9 to 5? I think out of all the gig apps, I'd be okay with that the most. I honestly wouldn't mind. Or I would mind less, I guess. I would mind less than a lot of other people. Because, I mean, you figure I already take most orders anyway. I mean, I know my acceptance rate is a little lower than usual. It's at 84%. I usually have it somewhere between like 85 and 90%. So if they still allow the leeway to decline an order per hour, then I don't see any serious downside to it. Would it be guaranteed hourly pay though? Yeah, that's a good question, because the active hour rate is guaranteed. So when they say that in my market it's $13 per active hour, that is a guaranteed rate. So the lowest or the minimum that you'll get is that hourly rate based on your time. So if it takes you 30 minutes with an active hourly rate of 13, then you will get a minimum $6.50. And that's without a customer tip. If the customer decides to tip on top of that, well, there you go, right? You figure if they tip $5, for example, that's like, no. If they tip $3.50 and it takes you 30 minutes to deliver their order and you get paid the $6.50, that is $20 an hour. But the reason why I wouldn't mind the least with DoorDash is because it's the only one that has a time earning mode in my area. Uber Eats doesn't have that in my area. Shipped, a lot of the orders go too far, and Grubhub is by far the worst. So I would definitely pick DoorDash. Like if one of them were to be made into a W-2 job, I would go with DoorDash. Maybe I'll put that on a poll next time. Like maybe what I could do for the poll is ask if people would be okay with gig work being a W-2 job. Because you gotta take into consideration too that a lot of gig workers like myself, we do rely primarily or even exclusively on gig work to make ends meet, and we're out here for hours at a time. So we are pretty much treating it like a W-2, you know? At least, you know, if you look at it surface level. I know people also like having the flexibility to just decline anything that they find undesirable, you know? But even still, we do technically treat gig work like a W-2 job. Yeah, nothing roady. Alright, I'm gonna move around a little more. There's still nothing really happening. I mean, I want to stay in the area, but just gotta remind DoorDash I am out here. So I guess I'll move back. It looks like the overall reception's pretty good. What if transportation was provided, you only got paid $20 an hour, you couldn't decline any orders? I mean, that's not bad, honestly. You figure, I try to aim for $20 an hour anyway, so if that is guaranteed that transportation's provided, I mean, that would just basically be like a better version of Amazon. Because Amazon in my area, well, not my area, but in Orlando, they pay, I think, like 15 to 16 an hour. So, you know, that's honestly not bad. I probably would do it. Because one thing I had in mind, too, is that if I had to go back to a W-2 job, I'd probably just be a delivery driver. Let's see. How come gig business do not require random drug test? They probably just don't want to spend the money on it, to be honest. That's why we're not employees. We're not employees. They just don't want to spend the money. And honestly, I think these gig apps would just be gone. I think they'd be entirely gone if they made us W-2 employees. Let's see. Red says, I've been sweating so much. You feel cold? Is that what's going on? Like your body feel cold? Your head feel cold? Hey, what's going on, Christy? Good to see you. If you drive a car, I can see that you would need to take a random drug test. Well, yeah, I mean, you figure Amazon, FedEx, UPS, USPS, they all require drug tests, but they also have employees, right? So with them having employees, they're also liable for them. So by law, they have to drug test. They have to drug test for the liability. But DoorDash, it doesn't really matter because there's no overhead cost for them to have us as drivers, for one. And if they just don't want us on the platform for any reason, they can deactivate us. And that is technically within their legal right to do that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but they're allowed to do it. And that's mainly because there's no actual standard in this industry. These gig apps, there's no actual standard. They're all just allowed to do what they want. It's to the point that my outside feels the same how I do. Yeah, you might want to get that checked out, Red. Hopefully you're not coming down with a fever or anything. Hey, what's going on, Wesley? How you doing? Yeah, I remembered you. How you doing today, Christy? How's your day going? It's 45 minutes in. Still no orders yet. And here I've been saying Thursday is underrated. I think I jinxed myself there. Oh, Wesley's your husband? Oh, I didn't know that. Huh. That's cool. You getting ready for work today, Wesley? Nice. Cool. Well, I am waiting on work, really. Just waiting. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I got all the apps on too. Harvey has had 6 baths since the skunk. I fear we've gone nose blind. Wow. That sucks, man. Sorry you guys have to deal with that. Hopefully not too many more baths before it's gone. Last time took 8 baths. Well, I guess it'll probably take 8 baths for this one too, huh? I hope he learned his lesson. Oh yeah, fool me once. What's the old expression? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Maybe Harvey will take that to heart. Let's see. Wesley says, oh, that sucks. Takes a while to rid that smell. Yeah. Tomato juice, I think, works. You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that, Christy, because there's this show that I really liked when it was on Cartoon Network. It's called Regular Show. They had an episode where that wound up being the thing to cure the skunk odor. I mean, the show obviously was pretty crazy beyond that. Like it turned the guy who got sprayed into like a giant aggressive monster, like a giant roided out monster who go around destroying everything. So, but otherwise, yeah, I heard that idea from that show. And it's funny you mentioned that. Wonder if it has to do with the acidic content. Yeah, probably has to do that. You know, actually, now that you mention it, I used to use ketchup when I had, regular cymbals, like acoustic cymbals when I had an acoustic drum set. I used to use ketchup to get rid of like the rust and everything off of it. And it actually worked quite well. You could also use soda for what it's worth. But I used ketchup because I actually used the ketchup for food too. Ah, finally. Thank God. We just got an order. All right, it's $4.50 for 2 miles at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Let's do it. Oh, you've watched Regular Show too? No way. Nice. You got drummers in your house, Christy? I ain't that funny. Yeah. I've got an electronic drum set. If you check out some of my pre-recorded content, you'll see me wearing a corn hat and sunglasses playing my drum set. Tropical Smoothie Cafe is right across the parking lot, so let's head over there and see if this order's ready. Just glad to finally get something, you know? Yeah, I gotta head east. southeast. That's where the headwind's coming from. So just bear with the windiness. See, these are little shortcuts I can't do with a car. Get around more quickly in some situations. Okay, here we are. Now let's see. Christy says we have both electric and acoustic. Cool. I used to have both as well, but I just have electronic drums. I've had electronic drums for about 7 years. And counting. I just don't really have anywhere to put an acoustic set. Hey, what's going on, Sonny? We just got ourselves the first order of the day. Finally. It only took almost 50 minutes to get it. But that's okay. It's been a pretty slow week anyway. I mean, I've been able to do well enough to make my overall goals, but hope it picks up a little bit. Anyway, let's go inside and pick this order up. Pick it up for Steven. Hey. Hey. I'll pick it up for Steven.
Steven, I think she's working on that right now.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Marge? How you doing? You're driving right now? Tomato juice works. Yeah, there you go. Well, I guess the consensus is in. Tomato juice. We tried baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, didn't make much of a difference. Yeah. Yeah, like baking soda, you know, it's okay for like, you know, less stanky stuff, I guess, if you will. But a skunk spray, yeah. I don't think it would be strong enough. The skunk taunted him. He usually does good with taunts. Now, curiosity killed the cat, right? And, you know, no matter how smart a dog is, they still have their instincts. Going to try tomato juice, thanks you all. Hey, no problem, Chip. Glad we can help you. Texas so dry. I stored drums in shed for years and no rust. Oh yeah, it's definitely not dry in Florida. I don't know. The only time it gets dry is after you've spent like an hour in the sauna for like a bodybuilding show. That's the only kind of dry you get here. Otherwise, it's humid as heck. Oh, is that the order? Sweet, thanks.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, we just got the order, guys. It's only a smoothie, so pretty small order. Yeah, if I had a cup holder, like the right kind of cup holder, I'd just put it on the front. But we'll keep it in the back. We'll just pack it up a bit. And I'm gonna take Sunny's suggestion too. At least the alarm works. But yeah, Sunny was the one to recommend Scotch tape. So I started bringing Scotch tape. I've used it for a couple orders, and one of them was an order with coffee, and it definitely helped. Hey, what's going on, Ulf? I was reacting to your footage earlier. The incline dumbbell bench. It looks good. I think you're underestimating yourself a bit with the RIRs. You look like you had at least 2 or 3, which is good. That's good because that shows that your work capacity is going up. And I was also telling people function of the chest and why I have you do that exercise the way that I have you do. You know, like when you're at the top and I have you bring the dumbbells closer together, it's because you're getting that adduction of the shoulders and getting more stimulation of that inner pec. So that just creates more uniform thickness from side to side when viewed from the front. All right, we just got the order. All right. We're dropping off to Steven. They're giving us 13 minutes to drop it off on time. And they say it's at the bank. I think I know what bank this is. I think it's called TD. I think that's the one it is. I don't know. Haven't tried them seated. We'll try in the future. I think I'll go this way. No, not scotch in the coffee. Put scotch tape on the lid. That way it's less likely to spill. Good mornings or a good movement, I do them seated. Heck yeah. It's really good for your lower back and hamstrings. A lot of people are they're scared to have their lower back involved with anything. I can understand if you have to work around it with an injury, you know. But otherwise, a muscle is a muscle and it needs to get trained, and it doesn't get stronger without a stimulus. Okay, bam. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, I've seen that movie. It's been a long time. I haven't seen it in years. But I remember thinking it was pretty funny. But also surprisingly wholesome, too. I think wholesome comedy is pretty nice. It can definitely be well done because, like, it keeps you smiling even after the punchline. You know, that's how I think of it. You figure wholesome comedy, it sets up a punchline and it still leaves you smiling because the characters and story can be pretty endearing. They also tend to do a pretty good job setting up the more thematic moments, I guess, rather than thematic comedy. Thematic comedy, I think, fails a lot of the time. It simply just doesn't work because it's too jarring tonally. But wholesome comedy seems to do that a lot better, in my opinion. I don't exactly go out of my way to watch a comedy film, you know, but that is one thing I've noticed about comedy movies. Or they can just be so dumb and goofy that I just find them hysterical. Like the movie Airplane. That's one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, Airplane. And it's just so dumb and so stupid, and I absolutely love it. It probably makes sense with the kind of humor I'm into. So you guys might not find it surprising that Airplane's one of my favorite comedies. David Spade, but it was cringe. Yeah, I was never really a fan of David Spade. I always thought that he got overshadowed by Chris Farley. Chris Farley was a lot funnier than him, and I think that's because of Chris Farley's commitment to the joke. He's willing to hurt himself to get a laugh, you know? I definitely respected that. Agree with you on Spade. Yeah, I just never found him too funny, to be honest. All right, definitely worked like a charm. Very minimal spillage, so that's good. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, I know who you're talking about. You're talking about, yeah, that guy from King Queens. Kevin Bacon? Yeah, Kevin Bacon. Yeah, I just thought Chris Farley was just a better version of Kevin Bacon. Whenever I see him, I just think like, oh, you know, he's trying to emulate Chris Farley, and it's just not as funny. But he's also trying to like tell jokes of his own. Like Chris Farley, he never really told jokes on his own. It was really more about just the physical comedy. Right? He was more of a physical comedy guy, and I think that's where he shined. Because he committed to it in a way that many other people just didn't, you know? Like, if you're going to do a particular kind of humor, you got to commit to it, right? Is it always funny? No. But can it be absolutely hysterical? Yeah, definitely. Coffee Cake Lovin' Bish. How you doing today? Good to see you. We just dropped off our first DoorDash for the day. And it's been a slow morning, especially by Thursday standards. But, you know, we're just going to keep going, see what happens, right? Oh, Kevin James. That's right, Kevin James. Oh, wait, Kevin Bacon. That's right. He's the guy that played in Tremors. Yeah, I had the last name mixed up. But yeah, James. You're right about that. I think most sitcoms suck ass. Friends too. I never really got into Friends. I never found 2.5 Men particularly funny. King of Queens was okay. I mean, Kevin James, he had very good chemistry with, what's her name? The lead actress. They had good chemistry together, I'll grant that. Some of the guest stars were funny too. But otherwise, yeah, it was okay. I think Seinfeld could be pretty funny at times. In fact, some of the memes references that I've made were from Seinfeld. I like Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's one of my favorites. Because like it can just be so ridiculous and convoluted, and even though it is a very mean-spirited show, it commits to it, and it actually works as a result. And it's really just mean-spirited towards the main character more than anything else. Towards Larry. Somehow Larry gets dragged into everything, and he's dragged through the mud. But they kept finding new scenarios, so it wouldn't get too old too quick. Not that it always worked, but you know. That's really the thing about comedy, is that it doesn't always work, but when it does, it's great. That's why I have like a very, I got like very polarizing thoughts about comedy in general. Tried to watch Curb, found it too stressful. Yeah, it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's definitely not. Because, I mean, you get characters that they shout over each other, they swear to high heaven, and, yeah. In a lot of ways, it kind of feels like a more extreme version of The Office because of its dry delivery. But, you know, it also sets up punchlines. I mean, I never really got too much into The Office, to be honest. Even though I've come around to dry humor. Plus, I mean, the infamous That's What She Said, and the best one to ever be done was from The Office. So, I'll grant that. You must see Nathan for you and Derek. I'll keep it in mind. But yeah, I don't know anyone that outright hates Seinfeld. Most people I don't think love Seinfeld, but they at least found a lot of funny stuff from it. Plot was so unrealistic, hard to watch. I just didn't like how Friends was just, it just turned into a giant circle jerk of love triangles. Love triangles rarely work out in shows and movies. Okay, looks like Ulf sent me that. Fair enough. Alright, let's put roadie on, see what happens with that. Oh, we actually have a roadie. Hold on. Alright. I'll submit for it. Alright, I just submitted for a roadie. We're gonna have to wait a little bit for it. We'll see if I get it. And I'm gonna pause DoorDash for a little bit while I wait on that. And if I don't get it, then we'll unpause DoorDash. Yeah, roadie Odie. What's going on, Aussie chick? Good to see ya. I'm sure it's nice, and I'm sure it's quite late over by you. Was it 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? American The Office. Oh, The Office. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, Kramer. I know my mom really liked that show, Kramer. Midnight at the Oasis. I gotcha. Right on. Hey, someone here's got to be living it up for us, right? Getting lit, getting crunk, or whatever the kids say these days. I think it's getting lit. I remember when Mary J. Blige from the early 2000s was going around telling us to get crunk. Let's get it percolating up in this dancery. Oh man. Oh, that I just made myself feel old really quick. Well, then again, I am 69 years old after all. I look pretty good for 69 though. That's what I've been told. Yeah, I'm going to gradually head over to CVS. I think that's a good idea. Well, let's get us away from some of this headwinds, you know. I know, right? Yeah. 69 years old. You know what'd be really cool is if I can pick up multiple roadies. Roadie's been pretty slow in general, but I do like roadie. The in-betweeners, I don't think I've seen those. I don't look a day over 30. Yeah, make heads or tails of that, right? Born in 1994, but I'm 69 years old. If it doesn't make sense, just call it a multiverse. There you go. When you can't tell a good story or make sense of your plot, just make it into a multiverse. Pretty colors and spectacle, right? I don't know, just multiverses and shit, it just makes my eyes roll, man. Because it's essentially what they do with that kind of media is they just turn it into a big tentpole and set up other things. And it's like, how about just tell a good standalone story and tell sequels on their own merit if people actually want them? But then again, it's all about making money, right? Ellie turns 30 this year. She was born in 95. Oh, happy early birthday, Ellie. That's what I thought was frustrating about that show I watched, Invincible, when they incorporated the multiverse in season 2. I was like, oh God, no. You know, I was like, oh no, come on, man. I know they do that shit in the comics. Doesn't mean you have to do it either. Because they do a lot of things different from the comics, you know? So when they started incorporating that, especially with freaking Marvel having that multiverse thing, it's like, oh Jesus. It's like I hate when movies and shit do that, man. We don't need multiverses. They don't work. Sorry, they just don't work. Like, the only reason why the multiverse thing even worked with MCU, the first 3 stages, is because everything was building up to a big story and a big final act, right? There was an overarching story. The problem is that all these other companies, including MCU themselves, funnily enough, where they come up wrong is they don't have an overarching story, right? So therefore, it's like they can just do whatever the heck they feel like, and we don't know where it's leading to. There's nothing to grasp onto. There's nothing to get invested in. It's just all pretty colored nonsense. And a bunch of subplots that have nothing to do with one another, and they're not building towards something. It's like, you're gonna make a multiverse, it needs to build towards something, man. Give me something to latch onto here. And they just come up short every time. That's why I even though I like the idea on paper, it's just extremely mishandled. And don't get me wrong, I was never really a fan of Marvel to begin with, but they at least did that right in its first three phases. Because it was all building to Avengers Endgame, right? That was the quote-unquote endgame, was to build to that. And they managed to tell an overarching story, even with the subplots of the different, side films, because it was leading to that. It made thematic sense. From a storytelling perspective, it made sense overall. Do I think it was perfect? Definitely not. Do I think all the films were good? Definitely not. I hesitate to say many of them were even that good at all. And I know it's pretty harsh, but it at least led somewhere. That's the thing, it led somewhere. But this whole, whatever the hell phase we're on now with Marvel, what is it, phase 5 or 6 or some shit like that? It's so directionless. It's so directionless because they peaked. They already peaked. And the sole reason why they keep trying is money, money, money. Look, that made us over $2 billion at the box office twice. So let's do it again, right? But they forgot the part where they actually tell an overarching story and every component leads to that final act. That they totally forgot what made it work. So even though I wasn't a huge fan of it, it worked. It worked from a storytelling perspective. It worked visually. It worked as spectacle. It worked, and lots of people loved it. So, say what you will about Disney's formula or whatever, but that kind of stuff will go down in history because a lot of people genuinely liked it and thought it was good. I'm still waiting to see if I got the roadie. Oh yeah, I know what you mean about directionless series. Yeah, pretty much. All right, we're still waiting. Ooh, general merch. Never mind. Let's see, where's that taking us? Okay, so that's going to take us back east if we do get it. You're about to attempt reading Dune Novel 1 again? Oh, there you go. I heard the movies were pretty good. Did you see the movies? Oh, we got the roadie. Heck yeah. Let's do it. All right. I just got to take the selfie. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, Rhodey's been asking me to verify every day that I log in. That's fine. I understand why they do it. Because you figure they ask you to verify the order when you pick it up and when you drop it off. Which is actually good. It reduces theft. I think DoorDash should do that as well. I don't think they will, though, because they have to spend money to do it. But I do think it's a good idea. It could save them money in the long run. Alright, well, CVS is right across the street over here, so we're going to run inside, pick up this order. Ow! Yeah, I'll bring you guys. Actually, no, I'll keep you guys out here. The reception's really bad in the store. You seen one of them disliked it. They went too far from the original story. Yeah, it'd be like that, huh? It be like that. Sick of superhero stuff. I don't know if you're sick of superhero stuff, Wolf. I think you're just sick of the superhero stuff that we've had. That's why I like Invincible. I think you'll like it too, man. It's not perfect, but it does a lot of things right. And that first season is absolutely fire. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, we're back. Got the order. Okay, where am I going exactly? Oh, it's at the Clyde. Huh. Okay. After the Sherman Lanes. Okay. So, yeah, I got the geography of this area, so now we'll just go drop the order off and take it from there. Ah! Hey, at least the alarm works. Let's see. Sonny says, I'm in and out of your chat, Mike, but I have your live playing. Thanks, Sonny. Doing things and stuff. Hey, Sonny said the thing. She said things and stuff. Nice. I think it's pretty heckin' dope when people are saying some of my catchphrases. Hell, I'm not even there. You know, I'm not even there, and I see people doing it. It's like, wow, okay, cool. How you doing today, Colleen? And looks like Chip's got a cup of coffee for me. Thanks, Chip. That's going to come in handy, especially when I come back out later. I might wrap up after this order, or maybe I'll try to hold off for another DoorDash. Maybe. Good. Down. Windy. It's all good. Are you talking about Ellie? If I think she's weird? I mean, I think weird's cool, so yeah. I think we're all a little weird. I know I am. But you know, embrace your weirdness, because there are people that think it's pretty heckin' dope, like yours truly. All right, come on, let's go, let's go. All right, we're good. Now we can go. I'll flip the camera around so you guys got a better view. Not the people here at the moment. But yeah, the voice acting in Invincible is great, man. And I love the characters in the show. You're very normal. Yeah, right, Ulf. Yeah, right. You're about as normal as the Teletubbies rolling doobies with Santa Claus. That sounds weird. Well, that was on purpose. Yeah, that was on the ride. I figure I've got Amazon Prime because I order a lot of my light stuff from Amazon. You know, that free shipping though, right? Wow, that was pretty foolish. Hey, speaking of doobies, I smell it. Somebody's lighting up either. I don't like to call people weird out of the blue, and I like guessing. Hey, you asked me if Ellie's weird. So, no, you can't, you don't get to say that. You don't get to say that. You were asking me if she's weird. So, you kind of put me on the hot seat there, Wolf. You kind of put me on the hot seat. Plus, I tell it like it is. You know that about me. But I don't think weird's a bad thing. I really don't. I mean, come on, if you're friends with me, you're a little weird. Let's be honest. Ow. Yeah, see, B knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go, unique. See, that's a great way to put it, unique. You know, at the end of the day, be who you are, be who you want to be. I'm not going to make people walk on eggshells just to coexist with me, you know? That wouldn't be right of me to do that. Exactly. No, I know you don't. I'm fucking with you too, buddy. Adam says only weird on purpose. To each their own. All right, let's go drop this order off. Okay. That's done. All right, anything else? No, okay. Well, that's the end of Roadie. Let's put DoorDash back on. Let's see, Caleb asks, are some people surprised when they see you on a bike? Oh yeah, I get tons of people surprised. Lots of people are surprised, but in a good way. They're like, wow, look at you, you know? Like, they usually say something complimentary most of the time. I haven't seen anyone really push back against me being on the bike, so I think people just think it's cool, you know, because I'm out here, I'm getting fresh air, getting some exercise whenever I, you know, pedal and stuff. And, you know, just doing things that other drivers do, except just my own way, you know? You like the positive reactions and questions you get from the public? Yeah, me too. I count that as my daily socializing. That might sound pathetic to an extroverted person, but you know, keep in mind, I never got this kind of interaction with people when I was just driving a car, because people don't give a shit. They're like, oh, well, everyone drives. Everyone uses a car to do delivery work. So you just kind of blend in, you know? Unless you have like a Cybertruck or like a Lamborghini or just something that stands out. But, you know, they see me on a bike and they're intrigued. And a lot of the time, like, people are starting to ask now if I do delivery work on my thing, because they take note of that big ass bag that I have on the back and the fact that I'm everywhere. And I get tons of people, they're like, hey, I see you everywhere on that thing. You do DoorDash? I'm like, yeah, man. That's cool. It is heckin' dope. Many heckin' dopes. And speaking of DoorDash, we do have it back on, but I'm probably just gonna make my way back to the house, and if I don't get an order by the time I get back, then we'll just wrap up for now. Josh gets lots of positive reactions when he takes Harvey on a ride. Harvey rides along. It's cute. Heck yeah. It's a good thing. Love watching you in action, so I can relate. I'm not very extrovert. It's a challenge for me, but I enjoy it. Yeah. I'm largely introverted, but I am opportunistically social. So it's got to be something that I'm really looking forward to, and with people that I want to do it with, and it wouldn't be so often, because it does get physically tiring. It gets mentally tiring too, if I were to just constantly go out and hang out and stuff. So that's why I'm more opportunistic than anything. Hashtag relatable. Bumpy wumpies. Bumpy wumpies. Heck yes. Hey, what's going on, Buttflies? We dropped off the DoorDash order earlier. Paid $4.50 for about 2 miles. And then we dropped off a roadie order. It paid $6.50. It said 3 miles, but it was like 2 miles because it was about the same distance. So overall, that puts us at $11 for the day. So it's actually pretty slow for a Thursday. But nonetheless, we're out here, we're working, we're doing things we want to do. Plus, you know, the live streams and hanging out with you guys. And all those good things and stuff. So it's all good. And let's see how's the view look. Okay, there we go. Nice. Giving you guys the view. Now let's see. As Colleen always says, keep on keeping on. Yeah, I can see you selling that on a t-shirt. Keep on keeping on. I can see you selling that on a t-shirt. Bumpy. I think I'll get back in the bike lane. So many heckin' bumpy wumpies. Ow! Yeah, it's definitely an inspiring phrase. That's been ingrained in my head, especially throughout March. So I'll definitely keep that phrase in my back pocket every time I think about a moment like that. It's like, oh yeah, just like what Colleen said. Keep on keeping on. Let's see, let's double check Brody again. I'm curious. Yeah. The only other one is it's a Walmart order going 7 miles, but it's got an extra large item. I wouldn't be able to fit it. And then there's a roadie stack from CVS, but it's going 10 miles from the CVS, and it's the one that's 5 miles away. So, yeah, that one's too far. That's basically about 15, 16 miles for about $15 one way. That just wouldn't be worth it. Plus, Uber Eats and Grubhub have been super quiet. Nothing doing. So I'm going to turn them off. Yeah, I think I'm going to head back home. Nothing's happening. But hey, on the bright side, that one order that we got, it puts us at 93 out of 100. So 7 more orders, and we should technically be back with Earn by Time, because that'll remove the contract violation. Bumpy, bump, 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 bump. Bump, 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 bump. Ooh, I know what I can do. I'm going to stop at Publix real quick. Pick up some lunch. Okay. All right, I'm gonna run inside. I'm gonna pick up some lunch, and I gotta pee. So I'll keep you guys out here. I'll be back out in a few minutes. So feel free to hang tight. I'll be back out.
You want me to take the avocado oil out of here too? You probably have some pack room for.
That's two big blocks. No, look, these are the other ends of those three blocks.
You could have unlocked it at the other end too, right? So they're not toast.
You weren't together, were you?
Bah! Yeah, that was me. But But yeah, that's just the. What do you? No. Okay. They were trying to let me go through first, but I don't feel safe doing that. So I waited till afterwards. Oh, it didn't refresh my chat on here. Huh. Oh, now it did. That's weird. Okay. But yeah, that's the sound of it unlocking or releasing the alarm. The other one, it's like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. So when it's like doo-doo-doo, that's the one where it sets the alarm. When it turns off, the alarm goes doo-doo-doo. And if someone touches it, then it goes and then it just goes off after that. Oh yeah, he was just he was unracking his bike. But yeah, I got my salad, so we're all good for now. Yeah, there was no turlet plunger in the men's restroom, but it was on the cleaning cart, so yeah. I guess they only allow the cleaning person to unplug the turlet. A fellow biker, yeah. There's a pretty decent amount of cyclists around here. And I'm starting to see more and more e-bikes. Like before I started my whole e-bike thing, there were barely any around. Now I'm seeing more and more people with them. And I always get people asking me about e-bikes too. So I think I started a little revolution around here. Or at least I'm a pioneer. So that's heckin' dope. That's heckin' dope indeed. But yeah, I'm gonna head back to the house. I'm gonna have that cup of coffee that you got me beat. Then I'll come back out for the lunch hours. Overall, we didn't get a ton done this morning, but you know, it's okay. We came out, we gave it our best effort. Maybe it'll pick up around the lunch hours. It'll definitely pick up around dinner hours, so I'll most certainly be out for that. Plus, landlord's gonna have some company over, so I want to be out of the house anyway. Ow. Okay. Oof. Okay. Let's see, is that door opening? No, it's not open. Okay. See if she's back yet. Oh, she's not back yet. Okay. Yeah, I know she had to go to the Sanford airport to pick up her friends. That's actually closer. Well, it's not closer, but that airport isn't nearly as busy as the Orlando airport. Yeah. All right, let's see. Colleen said, sent daily cheer out on a short. Nice. I'll check it out. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up for now. So if you guys enjoyed the stream, just don't forget to give it a lick on the way out. Appreciate you guys being here as always. I'll be back out in, say, about 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours. I'll schedule it ahead of time like I usually do, so you can ring that Taco Bell and all those good things and stuff if you want to pop in. But anyway, I'm all done for now. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.